Morning guys, June 25th, 2024. There I gotta go change out an AC system for a guy who was there over the weekend, and he had a 2-ton rod system over there and the compressor was locked up. I was able to get it started with a hard start kit, but it only ran for like 30 seconds and locked up. So the system's done. It's an 03, or I believe, so it's probably 22 years old. Anyway, we're gonna go rip it out and put in a Rudd 2-ton 410A system. I probably could have got by with like a 1.5 tons. It's between 1.5 tons and 2 tons, so I went with the 2-ton. That was what was in there. He's right on the water, so there's a lot of dampness right there. Anyway, we're gonna go rip out the old system and put in a new one for the guy. New condenser. I'm gonna reuse a line set. It's kind of running up the side of the house there to the 3rd floor. Just blow it out with nitrogen and reuse it. I don't think it's a burnout, but I did bring a filter dryer, a suction line filter dryer, in case it's a burnout, which I don't think it is. Be able to tell if the refrigerant smells burnt, it's a burnout. You can usually sniff the refrigerant. If it's not burnt, it'll be alright. Just reclaim it all and blow the lines out quick with nitrogen and just pull a good vacuum on it. It'll be alright. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be hot today, almost 90, but like I said, it's down by the water. I think he's got a window up there I can open up to get some breeze. It's gonna be not the easiest job because it's on the 3rd floor and I gotta walk up all them stairs, and it's on like a pull-down stairway type of thing. So system that's in there is only 14 inches wide. The one I'm going back with 16 and a half. They don't make them skinny ones anymore because the coils are bigger, you know. So I gotta do what I gotta do. We'll figure it out as I go. That's usually my motto. I figure it out. Best way to do it as I go and do it. So we'll try to get you some shots. I left the dog home today. Alright, you should be able to tell if it's a burnout. No, it's not burnt, so we'll reclaim it into my tank. Liquid gold here. Meantime, I'll disconnect these wires. Power should be off. I shut all the power off for the unit. She's coming out. Got it all stripped to get all the pieces out and carry all this stuff outside. And then I'll get the new pan up here and decide on how I'm gonna fit it. I did open that window over there. I think there's another window over there. I don't know if yeah, I guess it does open. Not too hot. Take it all apart down here, and then I'll take it up one piece at a time. Coil will come out, the fan will come out, and then the cabinet will be empty. And go right up there with it. Alright, so I got the unit up here, and I got the supply all tied in. I got the return towel tied in. I put this filter box in here. It was 16. I had to cut it down. I put in a 16 by 20 filter in there. All panned all in with S-lock and whatnot, so it's fine. This thing will slide right out. A filter. Slide a new filter right in there, and all tied in. I gotta slide in the coil and slide in the fan. Fan's basically the same size as that other plenum. This air handle is wider than the original one by like 3.5 inches. The other one was what, 14? This is a 17.5. So I had to do some work, but it will work. I get the fan in here and the coil, and maybe get the electrical. I'm doing okay, and I got this thing up on. I put some extra 2x4s on the bottom there. I got one there, one there. I think I got 5 under there, 2x4s that go the whole width. I'm gonna block this off. I'm gonna probably block this off and put a float switch in here. And then this one here will be for the trap for the coil. The low one. I'm gonna redo this piping. Worry about that later. We go leaker. Alright, now I slid in to the rails that were on it. But if this thing was spun the other way, you got to put your own rails in over here. They do come with different rails, but the way this is set up, blowing this way, it's fine. But if you got to flip it, you got to use the alternative rails. And you could see there's three spots. And same thing on the other side. You got to put the rails in before you put it all together. I just got lucky here. Next thing, the fan will go in. Oh, nice spot. On the water. I blew the lines out with nitrogen from out downstairs, and I mean, there wasn't a lot in there. Barely anything in the suction line. I blew 200 pounds of nitrogen through the lines. I mean, it's almost like a waste. This here, we want to take it out, and there should be pressure on that when we back it out. Should be. You know the coil's good. There's no pressure on it when you back it out, then you know you might have an issue with the coil. So they kind of pressurize it. They put it in, they put a little pressure charge to it. See if we can hear a little douche. Yep, hear it? That's good. That means there's pressure in the coil. Alright, I'm going to clean these lines and hook up these refrigerant lines. try to have the least amount of fittings as possible. That's what I always try to do. The least amount. Yeah, she's a leaker. Yeah, I'll give me a spot to put my I'll have to make a cut over there and a this way there'll be room to take off the filter. The leaker. Cut this and put a swedge on it. This part. So, this is soft. This will work. Alright. Here's a leaker. I could I use the Stay Bright 8 stuff. Some guys don't like it. I like it. It's easier for me to do it. And it's just as strong as brazing or stronger. So that's what I do. I use a Stay Bright 8, which is rated for high tensile strength. That's what I like using. Some guys get all bumhurt about it. I don't know what to tell them. Not my problem. If you don't like it, that's your issue. Use what you like. Here's the flux. The only thing about this stuff is it's kind of sentimental. If there's a big gap, it won't wanna fill in. So I recommend you do is if there's a big gap, you can squeeze it with the pliers. Well, we're not going to be able to solder either. You don't want to go crazy with the flux. Just put a little bit on there, enough enough to coat the surface. I cleaned all the surfaces already, so.
Because you don't want to move the pipe around, let it sit till it gets hard, and then you could after it gets hard, sets up, then you could move it, because if not, it could be an issue. So I want to get the refrigerant lines done, and then I could pull a vacuum on it, pressure test it, pull a vacuum. And this Stay Bright 8 is a high silver count. It's silver bearing solder. This is the stuff you want to use. I need to put a hanger on the end down there. I think I can put a... Now we'll put the filter up here so it doesn't rot away. He'll be able to get his, and then this is gonna, that bulb's gonna go right here. When I'm done, after I'm done testing it, I'll slide that insulation over and put a piece here. The only drawback of this stuff is it's gotta be tight. It's gotta be a tight fit, so, I mean, times I'll do is I'll just kinda pull it in with the pliers a little bit. Ain't rocket science. I'm gonna do a test to it anyway. Just pull it in with the pliers a little bit. Ain't a big deal. this down so I don't melt anything. Nitrogen test on it, make sure there's no leaks. No, you don't want to move that pipe around. Let it set up, and then wipe it. It's important because the shit will crack easy. Should be able to put some nitrogen in it. I had no issue reusing the line set. I had no issue reusing the line set. We'll be able to tell if there's any leaks. We'll pull a nitrogen charge on it, and then I'll pull a vacuum while I'm doing the condensate lines upstairs, finishing that up. Thermostat, gotta change the thermostat and hook up this wiring. And we pull. Meantime, we could be pulling a good vacuum on this thing. Put some pressure in the thing and $275 or something like that will be fine. $250, $275. It's good to take this off so you know it's not getting. If there's a leak, it's not. Let's see. $270. A little time. Thing was leaking, it'd be pissing out like a flippin' gangbuster. It's 80, 280. 50, 60, 70, 280. It's been about 10-15 minutes. The thing's staying right there, so I can put my vacuum on it. She's not leaking. Just dry nitrogen, so pull that out. Put the vacuum on it. I'll pull a good vacuum on it while I'm doing the PVC condensate upstairs. I always flip the battery around because if not I lose the battery. So when I put this away, I flip the battery around so I don't lose the charge on the battery. Every time I use it, I reconnect it.
let that run for a while, and in the meantime I can go do something else. I've got a good vacuum going there, so I'm going to release the refrigerant in there. I'll show you how I do it. My little socket thing there. Get my little socket thing on there. Open. Shut these valves off. Open this up. Once I open this up, I can shut the pump off, but it's not going to deuce my pump because I got the valves here. That's how I do it. Open this thing up all the way. Cover this pipe and finish this electrical work tying in, and I gotta just do the upstairs yet, but wow. Sometimes these things give you a hard time. I gotta finish upstairs and then we'll be ready to rock. What I like about the Stay Bright A is you don't cook these valves, you don't cook the seals and the valves, you don't get it that hot, you know. Alright, so blue's coming in on the feed for the cooling, red for the heat. Common, there's no common on this one. And I got white. White is for heat, yellow is for condenser, and green is for fan. Actually, I don't know if thermostat in there. Put the batteries in this thing and should be ready to rock. There's a hook on the top first. Hook on the top first like that. Unit's off on the attic, but just for now I'm going to put this to 70. Just so we could run it for now. It's off in the attic. I gotta finish what I'm doing up there. I'll finish my condensate line. I'll be ready to go. When I turn it on upstairs, it should run. Alright, I got this all done up here. I got this all tied in. The bulb. I got an extra float switch here. I got a float switch there. I got the trap here with a vent. And I got to put a hanger here, put a hanger there, and a hanger there, so if they step on it, they can break. This here, I just blocked it off. I should be able to turn it on and it should run. I got it off outside on a disconnect. I did put a hanger over there on that to hold that pipe up. I gotta put the date on this thing. did take. I did leave a cap here in case I want to suck the line out from outside. I could put this cap on here. That's just in there loose. Get him some extra filters. 3 extra filters there for him. This thing should fire right up when I put the disconnect. Oh, I gotta do this piping yet. Let me fix that. All right, that's what the That's what the 410 should be like with, you know, without it running over 200. We'll start it up and should be able to do this disconnect and it should fire right up. Disconnect in there. Gonna have to add some gas to it, you know that. Let it run for like 15 minutes or so. Might not be too far off, to be honest with you, looking at it quickly here. Subcooling probably should be about 9 or 11, something like that, so I'll probably have to add some. Gonna go by subcooling. Yeah, but still, you don't want to lose her. You don't want to lose her, right?
Right.
She only listens when it's supper time. That's the only time she listens, when it's time to eat.
No, she's not good either.
No?
No, she's terrible.
My dog's like that. She's kind of picky. She wants to eat my food.
They like chicken. That's like more chicken than beef.
You think she likes chicken? Gonna give her a little douche. Give her a little bit. Yeah, I got my gauge. I can see what's happening here with my wireless probes on my tablet there. See, I gotta swing this subcooling up a little bit. I got all wireless shit, you know.
Is that 7 pounds? 10 pounds?
No, that's subcooling. That's happening inside of here.
Okay.
I got a TXV up on this unit, so you gotta set it by subcooling.
So what number are you looking for?
Yeah, 9, 11, something like that. We gotta let it run for a little bit. Don't wanna overshoot it. 9 or 12, something like that. That's what's the amount of subcooling that's happening in here. That's how you set your charge.
That's the number in the right-hand corner?
Yeah, see subcooling?
That's going up now.
Now superheat is being regulated upstairs because I got a TXV with a bulb attached to the pipe.
Yeah.
So it's regulating
the superheat by that thermal expansion valve. Superheat happens inside the evaporator upstairs.
Okay.
And subcooling happens in here, this condenser.
Okay.
See, we have a TXV, we gotta set it by subcooling. We gotta set it by this number. See, we're at 9 there. We're good at 140 on our suction, that's good. And our superheat's good at 16. So our thermal expansion valve upstairs is a mechanical device. It's attached to the suction line and it's in the liquid line, and it regulates. It regulates back and forth to control this superheat. Okay? That's why we gotta set it by subcooling, because we have that device. But this is all looking good here. See all this stuff? Yeah.
Now this is the heat in the house.
That's the heat.
going out?
That's the heat from the house coming out. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna go over everything with you as soon as I'm done, and come out nice.
It looks nice. Okay.
It's a nice job, you know. And I wrote the date inside here that I put it in, the date upstairs on the unit, and we're gonna fill out the paperwork. I'm gonna dump the rest of what's in the holes in there, and I'm done. And I'm gonna go over everything with you upstairs. As soon as I pick everything up, I'll go over everything with you. But this is all looking good. 0 at 10 there, subcooling, and 137 on the suction. 19 on the superheat, that's good. There's